Hi y'all. Alright, so gonna do, I guess, a different video today, different subject than the ones I've done a lot of lately. Um, let's see, it's April, and April is Autism Awareness Month. Lots of people putting out lots of stuff about autism. So yeah, I always get slightly frustrated with Autism Awareness Month because we are plenty aware of autism in this house. For those that don't know, my 8-year-old was diagnosed with autism. It will be 4 years ago this summer. So, and we have, we're pretty sure now after dealing with therapists and everyone that's involved in that whole process that our oldest child and the youngest child are also, if we took them to be evaluated, they would be somewhere on the spectrum. Our third child, she's quirky, but we're not sure what that means yet. But we have a definitive diagnosis for one of our kids, and it's a knee-jerk thing about the awareness. I'm plenty aware, but I wasn't. I remember when he was much younger, before we finally got the evaluation, I would look on the internet, and the biggest thing I would type into the search engines was, what could my son have if he has the symptoms of autism but can talk? What does it mean if he acts like a child with autism but can talk? And that's where I went, because I was so sure, because he could talk. He didn't. He was very speech delayed, and he had severe echolalia and scripted speech. That was the other big one. He could talk, but he couldn't engage. There was no conversation. There was no back and forth. But I thought that since he could speak, that it meant he couldn't have autism. It was very, very wrong. So, and I see a lot of parents now, and I remember being in that place of where you didn't want that. I didn't want that for my kids. So I was very, I dug my heels in a lot. I was very hesitant and resistant. I didn't even want to get them evaluated, because I just thought there's no way that could be what was going on with him. And I just didn't want that to be the case. I was absolutely terrified of what that meant for him and for his siblings. And at that point, he only had 2 siblings. And what that just meant for everything. But I've got to say, don't be scared. I'm not going to tell you it's been easy. And there have been times that, yes, I wish if I had a magic wand, I would wish autism away, and yet don't come with the pitchforks. Not hating on anybody. To watch the struggles that he went through, on an hourly basis. If I could have taken that away for him, and it would take autism away, then bye. That's it was hard to watch him have to struggle to do things that are supposed to just come naturally. So my biggest takeaway from all this is just don't be scared. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be okay. Our life doesn't look like what I thought it would, but it's a really beautiful and good life. And we've got 4 amazing kids. So, and we have it good. okay, our children don't have classical autism, which can be, so it's kind of easy for me to sit here and say that we've got it. I understand that we have it good because my kids can talk to me. My youngest can finally talk. She was severely speech delayed. She can finally talk. They can all communicate with me. I know that for some families, they haven't come to that point yet, and their kids are older than all of mine. So I get that it's not easy for everyone, and everyone's going to have different feelings about it. But if your child is struggling, please just continue, reach out and advocate for them and try to find them the help and the evaluations they need, because once we understood what was going on, and then once the social worker pretty much flat out told my husband and I that it was pretty likely that we were both on the spectrum, and then we also carry genes that are indicated in they correlate with a higher incidence or a higher risk of autism. So, which explains so much. But, once you start, it changes your whole perspective about your kid and your life and everything else. Like, all of a sudden, I can't lie, you have those days, like, I have those days where he was just, like, absolutely impossible. And I'm like, why are you doing this to me? And I'm like, but he's a kid. He's not doing it to me. He's a little kid. And you just have those days where you're stretched so thin. And you just, you really do feel like, oh, why did I get a kid that acts like this? And then once they're like, no, and I try to tell people, I really think there's something different. There's something going on. He's not a bad kid. He doesn't want to be a bad kid. He's not trying to be bad. This is just how he deals with the world. And all of my kids kind of relate to the world very different from a neurotypical person. And it's just what's normal for us, and it's what we're used to, but it can be very, like, a huge shock to some people the way that my kids will interact or things like that, if they don't know what's going on. But, it's been, it can be a long road and a long process. But when you finally realize the reason behind the way they act, it all of a sudden it really changed everything, to understand why and how, and just the way that my kids interact with the whole world, all of their senses, all of their executive function and expected and unexpected behaviors and everything. And I was like, oh, it just it flipped a switch. And not that everything got better overnight, but once we understood how to accommodate the kids and how to make things work better and how to help them understand things better and how to really just focus constantly at first on the fact that they weren't not bad kids. They were just kids that were having a bad time. They were having a tough time. They just didn't, and they didn't know why. So, and we did a lot of work with the kids. And I mean, my oldest kid now, she's in all pre-AP classes. She gets good grades. She has good friends. She, UIL orchestra, just, what else? And all kinds of sports. you know. And my son, who was the one who started it all, and he honor roll, football, Minecraft. Yeah, they all love the Minecraft. Third kiddo, and she's got some pretty severe social anxiety. She's got selective mutism, which is pretty rough to deal with, but she has been working really hard this year. Dance, cheerleading. When you find their interest, when they find what they're interested in, it will help to draw them out, if that's something that they're capable of. And the fourth kid, she finally talks, which is amazing. Because it was really pretty delayed. I was really looking forward to hearing her, talk, and she does. So yeah, so just it's scary, but the other side can be really good. So yeah. And so now to not as to not be too gushy, we'll do a fun little, I guess, poll. I got to do something with all this because it's growing pretty quick. So my oldest kiddo thinks I should just no guard, just shave it down to the skin. I don't know, pretty nervous about that. I'm thinking just taking taking a guard to it and trimming it down. So in the comments, let me know, should I get rid of it all, or should I just keep should I take a guard to it, or get rid of it all? So let me know, and we'll see you guys next time.